Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear
Hopefully
you.
you can.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Game Set Live. Oh yeah, we got it. We got a great show for you. A lot of news this week. We're going to be talking about what exactly is an Xbox and is Randy Pitchford actually the flopping fish he seems to be, and why Final Fantasy 16 is failing on Xbox. All right, let's get right into it, Mr. Fabio Amorim, sir. How are you doing? What you been playing?
Yo, yeah, I'm great. Thank you very much. Basically, I've been playing some Star Wars Battlefront 2 with the boys. I played a little bit of Halo Infinite, some Forza Horizon 5. And also I've been playing. I started to play. I tonight started to play that brand new Remedy game that joined Game Pass, FBC Firebreak. I played with the boys, my good friends Ash and BMG. BMG just absolute hated the crap out of this game, and he's literally saying this game is worse than Concord. Like he literally said that. And I think it had some fun moments, but still, like the game has some serious flaws, in my opinion, for sure. But anyway, glad to be here, and let's get this thing going.
Let's get this party started right. Let's get this party started quickly. Okay. Nobody wants to hear Bob rap. And as a guest for the show tonight, we got Mr. Wise Old Gamer. Probably going to be a guest on many other shows because Wise is kind of that break glass and kind of in case of emergency type of boyfriend that you don't let the girlfriend know about. Yeah. Wise Old Gamer, how you doing? You're muted.
You're
We can't hear
muted.
you.
I know. When the
You're
fuck was I
muted.
demoted?
I'm sorry.
When
I
was I
mean, you've
fucking
been.
demoted? I want to
I
know
mean,
who fucking A. I want to know when, and B. I want to know who. Who fucking demoted me?
I wasn't aware anybody
first of
demoted
all,
you.
it was Bob, and
When the
second of
fuck did
all,
my
it
green?
has.
What? Like, are you related to Trump? You just revoked my panelist green card or some shit or what? You know,
Not true. Not true. Chat.
I
Don't
fucking
believe
went from
him.
a panelist back to a goddamn guest. Damn it. Do you know how much money? Do I have to buy a $5 million visa again?
Possibly.
And we already started great, everybody. We already started great with this shit. We regret everything and everyone. Sorry, not sorry.
No, we
That
don't.
was a great show tonight, man, guys.
There we go.
Right?
Mr. Wise, where can we hear from you? Tell us
nah,
where we
guys.
can find you.
No, guys, it's always appreciated to be on, man. It's I have had problems trying to get on because of just my schedules being what it is. But yeah, I just thought that hey, since you guys are doing a show tonight and I'm free, I would be willing to just stop in if you would have me. So it is as always an honor to be on with the great KY. I
Oh
mean, with a
God.
name like that, you don't need any lube. There's Fabio, who, shit, my girlfriends have masturbated to your trashy novel covers for the longest time. So there you go. And Drawn TJ, I've not seen the motherfucker on the camera ever once. I don't even think he exists. I think he's AI. So anyhow, so yeah, it's always an honor being online.
Wise.
Yeah, I have been playing. I'm in a routine with three. I got Mario Kart World on Switch 2. I got Death Stranding on PlayStation, and I got Doom on Xbox. That's my revolution right about now. Games. That's what I'm
F
playing.
Trading Remastered.
Yeah, the Death Stranding remastered one. Yes.
Did
Yeah.
you do you have the original one from the
Mhm.
PlayStation 4? Like, did you play that?
No,
And
I
like,
never played. No, go ahead.
is it different? Like, i- do you have any noticeable differences from the remaster and the original?
Okay, so I can't say if it was because of the remaster or all of the patches since launch that they updated the game with. I don't know if there was a lot of patches, but okay, when I first started playing it, there was like that big buzz of oh, it was boring, it's boring. And so I was playing it, I never got into it. There were other games that sort of sidetracked me. So when the new one's coming out, I wanted to play the old one because they said that you'd get a better appreciation of the story if if you played the first one. So I played it, and from what I saw from the launch Death Stranding, it runs much better. Now, is that a PS5 Pro variant? Is that because of the other patches? I can't say, but it runs
Mhm.
flawlessly. But then again, Kojima games, generally speaking, are not riddled with bugs to a certain extent. I mean, I don't remember even in the original Metal Gear trilogy them having that many bugs to speak of for fourth series. So yeah, I mean, it's always looked good. His games have always run well and have always looked good. So I mean, it looks like a Kojima game. It runs like a Kojima game, and it plays like a Kojima game. So it's fun. I mean, is it the best
It's
game ever? No, I still don't like it. Like, oh my god, it's ground revolutionary. But it's a good chill game. Sometimes when you want to turn your brain off and just do some mindless chores, that would be the best game for it. So,
Mhm. Honestly, like I don't remember. Did Death Stranding receive a remaster or just a patch for PlayStation optimization?
no, there
Don't
was a
remember.
collector's. Go ahead.
I don't remember anymore if there was like a remaster for the PlayStation 5 actually. Now you got me
Yes,
there.
there was. They did.
There,
There
they
was?
increased the
Okay.
Yes.
stealth sections. Remember that section that they showed, and it was Sam Bridges almost playing like Snake. Yeah, there was that one scene that they had on the remaster where they showed him going into a room and he put on this cardboard box a la Solid Snake and was walking through that room in a stealth manner. Do you remember that? It was a couple
Mhm.
of years ago when they had shown it. That is on the remaster, so that wasn't in the original content. So
Ah, okay, fair enough.
yeah,
Mm.
but yeah, generally good game. I mean, these days and times, I mean, we've all been playing games since longer than we care to mention, and we've pretty much been around the bush, and we've seen it all. Okay, um, it's a good game. Very few games now, I would say, are genre defying to me these days. I mean, call these a cynical old bastard, but it is what it is. So, is it a good game? Yes. Is it something that's like earth rattling? No.
Mm.
The same thing with Doom. It's a great game. I love fucking Doom. Doom, no other game gives you that feeling of being an uber badass like Doom. But it's
And
more Doom.
and it
Yeah,
and it always plays at such a frantic pace that if you stop, you die.
exactly.
Yes.
Uh, It's the only
And
fucking game.
You can't do camera mode and sit there and look at the pretty scenery because you're going to get mauled.
It's the only fucking game that I could put on my Bhangra songs, like the old Indians. I don't know if y'all listen to any Bollywood Indian songs or anything like that, but the Bhangra songs, it is the only, yeah, you got to listen to it. It's something totally different. But I guarantee you, if you ever play Doom, try to play Doom with some Indian Bhangra music, it matches perfectly. I mean, get a little glass of wine or a beer, your poison of choice or your pill of choice, and I guarantee you, you're good. You're off to the races for the entire night. It is the most surreal experience ever. So, yeah.
All right. Damn, it was a long ass intro. Check. Somebody call Guinness.
We got that.
The beer people. Yeah. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Always, always.
And last
We
but not
much,
least,
we will much appreciate for it.
Mr. Drawn TJ, sir, what have you been dabbling in, and how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Just been playing Splitgate 2 and also been playing Tempest Rising.
Oh, you're trying to butter up to Bob now.
No, I love strategy games.
Tempest Rising is badass. It is Command and Conquer We're reborn in 2025 on Steam.
It's a big middle finger to EA to get off their asses and make a new Command and Conquer for all devices, not just damn phones.
Yeah, but I mean, come on now. Command and Conquer hasn't really been Command and Conquer since EA shut down Westwood Studios.
Didn't
I
those
like the Red Alert.
developers?
I like the Red
didn't
Alert 3,
Westwood
and I did like Tiberium Wars. I did like those.
didn't Westwood after their recent most Command and Conquer fuck, what's that company's name? Blizzard sort of steal some of them or bought some of their contracts.
Yes.
No,
Old
that's not.
developers. Westwood.
No, no, no. Like the only developer that steals something is Bungie. Okay, let's remember that. So I don't
Wow.
think that.
No, I mean,
Just
the
like
last,
Marathon,
the
canceled.
last I remember the last CNC not doing so well, and then like I think they shuttered
Well, it was Tiberium
Westwood.
Twilight. It was No, oh yeah, you're talking about Westwood. That would have been. EA's had the reins for quite a freaking long time.
The last Westwood game was
Red Alert
oh,
2? No.
it was either Red
Or was it
Alert 2
Generals?
or Tiberium Wars. I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah.
I
think
know
it
the
was I
first.
want to say it was Red Alert 2, wasn't it? I'm almost
I
positive it was.
I know the first Command and Conquer that EA had full control over was Generals, and I hated it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
but so to kind of finish up intros, Bob is doing good. Survived a tornado scare shortly before the show. Didn't know if we were going to go live tonight, but you know what? I rebooted the router and I checked my speeds, and I was like, let's do this thing and eat a chicken wing. Bob has been playing. I've revisited Terminator on Xbox, the complete edition. I didn't play any of the expansions, and so I started over. And here you go. And I've also been playing Space Marine, the Master Crafted edition. I didn't play the original Space Marine. I know, sacrilegious. I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't even know Space Marine came out on the 360. I had no idea. I
Ah,
must have been.
damn.
I
Don't feel
must have.
bad. I didn't know either.
I must have been so deep in Gears of War and Halo that I didn't care. So,
Okay, I can agree with that. Yeah, that's basically what I was doing.
I've been playing a Mastercrafted edition. I've been playing Terminator, like you see on screen right now. I've been playing a little bit of, just some odd stuff on Steam. First person like horror games that are like $5-6 on Steam. I'm actually getting a kick out of them. I need to actually do a live stream one night of Bob playing one of these games, because let me tell you what, you haven't had a good time until you've seen a 6'6", 300-pound country boy jump because he just got the shit scared out of him. You haven't had a good time until you've seen that. It happens. Trust me. Yeah. But yeah, I've been, just doing that and enjoying life and enjoying all the news, and can't wait to throw my money at Asus and Xbox. Yeah. Come on, Xbox Ally X. Hurry up. Which, the details were leaked on that. Anyway,
Seriously?
yeah, the details were
Were they?
Yes, the details were leaked by a UK retailer.
It's
You didn't
it's 600, it's 699 and 899 respectively, right? From what I
for
remember.
UK, yes.
Yes, and I think that's going to be the same for dollar because I think that was the euro price. I don't think it was pounds. It was euro price, 699 and 899 respectively. And I think that that's going to be a dollar for dollar equivalent because I think the exchange rate is like a dollar
But
15,
see, that's
dollar to
just
dollar
it though.
15 or something.
That's just it though. Asus and Xbox are eating. They're eating $100 for the US release. I
And they
heard
are. So
that
it's going to be they're going to price it at 799, the
yeah,
high end.
four ninety nine, and $799.
Because it's interesting that you say that because right now, if you go to Best Buy, who is the licensed partner to sell the ROG Ally in America, in United States as retail, one of their licensed partners, you go on the Best Buy website, a new Ally X, not a Xbox Ally X, just a Ally X is $899, and that has a Z1 Extreme chip in it.
I thought it was
So
$799.
it launched at $799, but currently they went up $100, so it's $899. Now, will
Oh.
that go down $100 by the time the Ally X comes out? I don't know, but at this juncture, yeah, I mean, if it comes out $100 cheaper than the current Ally X, then that's great. But I don't know.
We'll
You know,
see.
we kind of floated into our first topic here because the pricing is, I guess, every source has got different pricing. It's off by $100 here, $100 there. But what I can tell you that I do believe everybody is in agreement with is they are going to make the live announcement during Gamescom that the pre-orders have just went live. So in August, during Gamescom, the pre-orders for these two handhelds will go live, and they will release in October. I do believe every outlet and every source is in agreement with a pre-order during Gamescom and a release in October.
Would make
So
sense
I
for
know,
the holiday season.
yeah, I know what I'm gonna be like glued to the live stream of Gamescom. And before they even get to the end of the presentation and they say, right now, Bob is already going to be on Newegg going pre-order, 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 pre-order. Why Newegg? Because Bob gets 6 months same as cash with all Newegg purchases. That's right.
Not just
That's
that, but
right.
you got to deal with the dumbass scalpers, which are going to try to freaking scalp that.
Yeah,
So
I don't know.
we'll see how that goes.
It depends, because I mean, they've obviously already got units. Hardware is not going to change. Now on the Windows side of it, yes, Microsoft is continually working. We know they've already cut so much fat off of the prefetching data and the things that run in the background that was making Windows on handhelds operate so much worse than Steam OS. And
Bob, let me ask you, Bob.
Go ahead.
I don't mean to pause. I'm doing something on an. Can you hear this? Hold on. Did you just hear anything?
No.
No.
Okay,
No.
good. Keep going. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disturb you. I don't want my feed, what I'm doing on my computer on my second screen, to be bleeding into your.
Oh yeah, no problem, bro. No problem. We're all here for technical advancement on production values. We're all for
Thank you.
it.
Yep.
So yeah, I done lost my train of thought. What was Bob talking about? Okay, yeah. So we do
bloated.
know, right? But Windows is bloated because Steam OS was not only getting 66% more battery life than Windows, but Steam OS was getting like 20 to 30% better performance than Windows. And Microsoft was like, these are the platform wars that we're going into now, boys. And Windows cannot be shown up by Steam OS as far as playing games. Otherwise, all gamers will move away from Windows on their desktops and go to Steam OS. That's a real thing. You don't have to have a handheld to run Steam OS. It is, yeah. So Windows can't have this. They can't be second. They have to be first. They have to make sure that Windows is where not only you do everything else, but it's also where you do your gaming. So while the hardware isn't going to change on these devices, the operating system is it's going to continue to evolve. They've already cut 2 gigs of RAM. They freed 2 gigs of RAM up with eliminating all the Windows prefetches that are going on in the background, because whether you know it or not, after you log in to Windows, after you've just booted up your computer, Windows knows what you normally do. And Windows has already prefetched things that you normally open. It's already prefetched data for everything in your taskbar, and that uses resources. So they're going to eliminate as much as they possibly can. So the hardware is not going to change, but the operating system is still evolving. And yeah, I'm pumped about it. Can't wait for it to come out. So, Fabio, have you already started saving for yours?
Oh Lord. No. Considering the price that is going to be, I probably won't be getting one. But by the way, the pre-orders are available in specific regions, and Brazil is not going to be one of them, sadly.
Oh, I just remembered what I was
So
going to bring
yeah.
up. I kind of had a brain fart there for a second, because I
Oh Lord.
Fabio doesn't have to mention Halo for us for this podcast to go off the rails. Bob can do it in his own head, and I did. So what I was getting at with the hardware is not going to change. That's already set in stone. They've already got working units. So right now, Asus can just start pumping these things out as fast as they can, ready for launch. That's what Nintendo did with the Switch 2. When the Switch 2 launched, everybody that wanted to buy a Switch 2 was able to buy a Switch 2. Now scalpers are still scalpers are not able to sell Switch 2s for like unbelievable prices, but scalpers are still making a little money on it, but not as much as they would have if nobody could get a hold of one, like nobody could get a hold of the Series X or the PS5 in 2020. So Nintendo did good on the Switch 2 release. Anybody who wanted one was able to get one, and I do believe that they're going to be ready for this handheld launch in September to October. Because somebody actually said September. It seems like some Asus page said the release is in September. Dude, that would be even better. That'd be kind of a fast turnaround though, if pre-orders went live during Gamescom, which is towards the end of August, and then only weeks later launch. But hey, Bob would be okay with that because Bob doesn't like to wait for anything. So if I pre-order it, I want to know it's coming. Now, we know who the hardware whore is on this podcast right now. Wise. How
Yes.
many are you going to pre-order, Wise?
Hold on one sec. Hold on
How
one
many are
second.
you going to? Okay, like how many are you going to pre-order, and why is it 20?
Yeah. Is it
To be
20?
honest with you, so here's the whole story. I am really intrigued about getting this chip, especially considering the Ally X that I got right now has the Z1 Extreme. This next one has a Z2 Extreme. Now, this is the debate that I'm having. How much more powerful or what type of gains am I expecting with the Z2 that don't have with Z1? Because what I'm worried about is the thing that is infecting every major tech corporation across the world, which is fucking AI. So we know Z2 Extreme has some sort of AI implementation in it. How much of all of those resources are going to AI, and what was left to sort of up it up from the Z1 to the Z2, if that makes sense?
Okay,
So,
so
like, am I? Go ahead.
I can give you the full technical background here. So the Z1 Extreme is it's a standard 8-core, 16-thread CPU with no neural processing unit, and I believe it's built on, I want to say Zen 4, but don't quote me on it. Or maybe it's
Okay.
Zen 5. I don't know.
So,
But
what type of like performance gains am I looking at in yours?
So you're going to see a 15 to 20% bump between a Z1 and a Z2. Especially the Z2 Extreme with the AI. So that's why there's a Z2 Extreme, and then there's a AMD AI Z2 Extreme. The regular white version is just going to have the Z2 Extreme, which they're calling the Z2A. And then the one with the NPU, the neural processing unit, is going to be the black one, the X version. Now this is a Strix Point processor. With the Strix line of processors from AMD is the same thing Intel started doing with their processors. You've got performance cores and you've got eco cores. So you've got things that do heavy lifting, and then you got things that do the normal monotonous work. The Z2 AI Extreme processor that's going to be in the X version, it has got five of the 8 cores are Zen 5 performance cores essentially, and then 3 of them are eco cores. So it's with the Z1 Extreme you get 8 equally performant cores, but they're not as performant as and we know that games don't they don't balance workloads across all cores either. If you're ever playing a game on PC and you're looking at your usage on your cores using a monitoring app, you will see that you're only actually using like 2 cores to the fullest potential. The rest of them are just kind of sitting there, and one of them may be at 40%. Gaming is just not really embraced multi-core or multi-threading yet, which really sucks because we would see a lot better performance with games like where you've got a lot of NPCs walking around a city and people doing their own thing. That kind of stuff is being put on one core to handle all those calculations. And what the player is actually doing and the frames that are actually being drawn on screen, that is being handled by another core of the processor, while the other 6 essentially just kind of sit there with their thumb up their butt, not really getting too much. If they, well, yeah, but see, the problem you get into though is that the reason why this is so complicated is that if you wanted to start utilizing all those cores, then you have to know exactly if you're going to give a core a certain responsibility, well, you need to make sure that core can handle that responsibility. So all 8 core processors are not created equal. So what you've got to do then as a developer is that you've got to program for individual cores for this processor type, this, Ryzen Zen 3. And then I've got to then program for this Intel 14300 or 14300 processor to utilize its cores. And you're going to have to, when you start getting into using all the cores on a processor, then the developer has got to start programming for every type of processor. When you cut it down to only using just a couple cores and you make them the highest performant cores on the processor that you're using, well, then you get a more broad net of compatibility on PC or on console. Yeah. That's the long answer to your question.
Well, at the end of the day, if I get good enough performance gains, then it's worth it. As I said earlier, I had tweeted out that I am never going to be a PC player predominantly. I mean, will I dip my toes in the space? Probably, but it's not my platform of choice, if you will. So that being said, I will always buy the most powerful. I hate to use the word because this is technically not that, but the most powerful console that would enable me to run my games with very little, if any, trouble. That's the main thing. I did the whole PC thing back in the day, World of Warcraft, EverQuest, Star Seas Tribes, the list goes on and on, But Myth, Redneck Rampage and all that. But now I just don't have the time. I just want to go in and play my game. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm just looking in where I just pick up the fucking thing, turn it on, get into Xbox, get into Steam, get into whatever, and get into my game ASAP.
So, I mean, you can do a search on Windows. Do a Bing search for yes, I did say Bing, not Google, because I'm a Microsoft corporate shill. And I get Xbox points for you. I get Xbox points for using Bing search. I'm sorry.
Yeah, fair enough.
So you
can just download the MSN app as well, and you can redeem those research points.
Yes, you can. Bob has that. But you could do a search for Z1 Extreme versus Z2 Extreme, and Copilot will give you the answer that you're looking for. But for somebody that doesn't, go ahead.
But the thing is this, right? Like if you have to, like I'm not Digital Foundry, okay? I don't need, okay, if the performance gains are such that like, okay, it does ocular occlusion. I don't even know what the fuck ocular occlusion is, or whatever it is. So like, I mean, it's got to be something like substantial, like not substantial, but something that I can see as change in, right? Like if you have to zoom it up into 20 times its resolution just to see that, hey, it's doing anti-aliasing, I'm like, oh,
Wise,
I'm not
you
gonna do that.
basically wanted to be better than the last piece of hardware,
Visually, right?
meaning like visually, and then just like how it plays, how good it feels playing it.
What we say, math statistically significant, right? Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm looking for. So if it does that, then I'm down day one. If not, then probably I will eventually get it, but it'll probably be something to the effect of I'll just probably wait for an open box or something. Because the good thing about Best Buy is that these things go on open box all the time. I think you can even get
Yep.
a other one for that as well, and it's usually $100 cheaper. So if I can save $100 for waiting a month or two, then fuck it, I'm gonna wait a month or two. I got an Ally X anyway, so it's like not like I'm hard pressed to turn it in.
Okay, so
This is not a potato exactly. So
the Z1 is a Zen 4 and the Z2 is a Zen 5. 6th generation versus 8th generation. Both 8 cores, both 16 threads. The Z2 is a hybrid. The Z1 is a normal. They both have, but
what nanometer process is it built on?
4.
Are they both built on the same nanometer process?
Let me see. They're both built on.
How
They're
dare
both
you.
built on 4. But
Are they
see,
both on
so okay. So here's the big difference. So the Z2 Extreme runs at a higher clock, a higher consistent clock,
So they overclocked it.
and the Z2 uses the new AMD Radeon 890 GPU. The Z1 uses the old 780.
Okay, so what is in the 890 that is not in the 780?
The 890 has 16 compute cores, 1024 shaders. The 780 only has 12 compute cores and 768 shaders. So you're
Okay,
getting
so
a
now
you're getting a much more powerful GPU in the Z2 than you have in the Z1.
So basically, this is an Ally X Pro, essentially,
Yes.
if you want to think about it that way. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So,
For people that don't, I hate to use the teraflop term because we all remember 2019 and we all remember the teraflop war. But
Yep.
for somebody who isn't tech savvy and you're a console gamer, the Xbox Series S is 4 teraflops of RDNA 2. Okay?
Yeah.
The Xbox Ally X is 5.9 teraflops of RDNA 3.5. So not only is it 2 generations better in architecture, going from you started RDNA 2 and then you hopped to RDNA 3 and then 3.5. So you're 2 generations better on GPU architecture. But you're almost 2 teraflops better on compute power of that GPU.
and if you really wanted to do compute power, if you're doing a 4 teraflop RDNA 2 versus a 5.9 or 6 teraflop, what is it, RDNA 4 you said, or 3?
RDNA 3.5.
Okay, so you're talking about you're getting more than a 2 teraflop performance gain. Yeah,
Yes.
number wise it's 2 teraflops, but performance gain would probably be close to upwards of 3, right?
Right. So you won't be able to use FSR4, but you'll be able to use FSR 3.5, which FSR has, if you've seen any of Digital Foundry's latest videos, FSR has really closed the gap on image quality. They're almost undiscernible or indiscernible between DLSS and FSR as far as image quality goes. And FSR 3.5 does have the 1 times frame gen. So they do the 1 extra frame between frames, which is fine. I am perfectly okay with that. I use it. Yeah, so I'm excited because not only so when you think about consoles, your consoles are hooked up to your 4K televisions, right? So people always, you get into these resolution wars. Well, what's the game running at? What P? You're talking about the Ally X and the Ally only have 1080p screens on them. They're 120 hertz and they're VRR. So you're not going to see the jitter because your screen is automatically going to adjust to the variable refresh rate. And because they're 1080p screens, you're never asking that GPU and that handheld to go over 1080p. You're going to be hard pressed with frame gen to find an experience with medium to high settings on this handheld that's under 60 frames a second. I believe some of the people at the event that got to test this Ally X, they were playing Gears of War Reloaded, and they said the frame counter was like 65 to 75 the whole time they were playing it on medium settings.
Which is
They
not
weren't
bad. That's really good.
that's really
Yeah,
good.
for sure.
So that tells me that with this device, and it's going to be able to access Steam. I've got so many first-person games in my Steam library. I'm going to be able to play all of these. I don't see a problem with any game not called Mind's Eye being played right now on it, because Mind's Eye is even. It's like Mind's Eye was only developed and optimized for a 5090. If you got anything less than that, don't even try to play it. The screen tearing and everything is horrible. But yeah, I mean, it's really pretty pumped. Pretty pumped about it. And I do believe that when Xbox saw what Asus was able to put together with 24 gigs of RAM and a Z2 AI Extreme, that's when they said, I do believe Tom Warren said it, but I don't think Xbox has officially come out and said it. This handheld's canceled. Their first party right now, they're just like, I don't think we're going to do better than Asus is doing. Let's just focus on the OS and get the OS where we want it. And that's why the back compat team has come in. And they're back hard at work with the Windows team to make sure that our libraries move forward with us. And we're talking about, we've already seen it on the Steam Deck and on the ROG Allies that are out in the wild right now. These handhelds are perfectly capable of running an emulation shell over the native OS to run games from past generations. And look, right now, everything that's being played right now on Xbox Series X and S, it is going to run on this handheld. And anything from Xbox One and Xbox 360, let's face it, compared to what we have today, those consoles weren't very powerful. It's not going to take a lot of hardware muscle to emulate a 360 or an Xbox One game on this handheld.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not. So all they'd have to do is get the code to jive with the newer version of DirectX, because that's what it really comes down to is it's operating system limitations, the way resources are managed by the operating system. That's why a lot of your games that you played with Windows 98 or Windows XP, you can't play them on Windows 11 because Windows just doesn't work the way that it used to. It doesn't allocate resources as freely as it used to, which is unfortunate, but hopefully Microsoft can fix this, because that's a big reason why people don't run Windows, is because Windows, you can't play some of your older games because they're not compatible with this version of Windows, but you can easily, by watching a tutorial, get Linux to do it. So yeah, Windows need to fix the shit, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Hey, KY, I'm gonna
Fair enough.
step
Like,
out for a couple of seconds. I got to do a couple of errands for my wife, and I'll be back in about half an hour. So is that okay?
Yeah, that's good, dude.
All right, cool.
no
I'll see
worries,
y'all in a
all
few.
good, my friend.
Peace.
I think it honestly, I think it is quite interesting, especially because that people are trying to make a huge discussion about the ROG Ally, the ROG Xbox Ally, either the X or the white version, because simply because it doesn't run natively. If purely runs through emulation. So it means that it is less of a thing. No, like here's the thing. Even the I think that even the I don't know, I can be extremely wrong here. So do correct me so if I am. Like I think that the 360 backwards compatibility or the original Xbox backward compatibility here on the Xbox on the Series and the Xbox One consoles, they all worked through emulation. Am I
Yes,
right or wrong?
you are correct. So you remember when, so like on
So
your Xbox
does
One.
that mean that the Xbox One? Okay.
So when you would start a 360 game on your Xbox One or your Xbox Series, because I mean, let's be
hmm
honest, they basically had the same UI since Xbox One. I mean, it's went through some
Xbox
refinement.
360, yeah.
Yeah, so the 360 UI with the blades, I'm kind of partial to that. I really did enjoy that UI. I wish they'd bring the blades
I
back, but
liked it. I want them back.
Oh yeah,
I don't think we're gonna see it. But I did like it. So you
no,
know
it was amazing.
when you're
It was
sitting on the
amazing. There's no doubt
dashboard,
about it.
when you're sitting on the dashboard and you go to play an Xbox 360 back compat game, do you notice how the screen goes black and then you get that old entrance screen into the Xbox 360?
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
if you remember when you were on 360 and you started that game, you didn't see that Xbox 360 screen. You went right into the developer intro screens where, you know, the developers were being shown, and then you went into the menu screen. What Xbox is hiding between that black screen and that Xbox 360 screen, the one you normally saw when you started your 360 up, is the loading of the emulator.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Because
So,
they don't want everybody emulating it.
Like for some
but every,
goddamn reason, and for some goddamn reason, apparently the fact that the ROG Xbox Ally X is running your 360 games, your OG Xbox games, your Xbox One games are, and okay, maybe some Series X or S games through emulation, that makes it less of a thing for some reason. It is inferior, it shouldn't be supported and stuff. But like, does it that mean then that the Xbox One and the Series X and S, just because they run the backwards compatibility of the 360 and OG Xbox through emulation, it means less? I don't think so. I just really don't understand why the argument has come to wait, does it run natively? Like apparently, god damn it.
no, there's no. So, I mean, natively, because your base operating system is always running in the background. You don't ever shut your base system down to load another one
Exactly.
unless you're dual booting. The only natively these days has got to be looked at as just I'm launching this game off the hard drive in the device and playing it through powered by the device. That's how you have to look at natively now.
hmm
And I mean, you unless you are playing a game through the cloud, which I mean, don't get me wrong, if a lot of cloud is a perfectly fine outlet for single player adventure games. I don't have no problem doing that. I played oh shoot. What was that that Martha is Dead? game. I
Mm,
played that entire game through the cloud and on my iPhone, and I had absolutely no problems with that entire game. I mean, but if
fair
for
enough.
anybody that's watching, you know what type of game that is. That's not asking a whole lot, but it,
XCloud. I played Halo Infinite multiplayer at my work, and it worked really well actually.
I did play also like Star Wars Battlefront 2 through xCloud before I
It,
decided to fully install it. It works well.
it
The problem
yeah,
are just the visuals of it.
yeah, the visuals are the only problem because the gameplay ran pretty damn good. Like I was actually winning the match, and I'm like, hey, there's no jitter. I mean, the resolution's terrible, but otherwise it plays good. It just comes down to do you have a good internet connection or are you going off of your phone's 5G and you got good service? That's about it. Otherwise, it's not bad. It's not perfect, but
Hmm.
it's not bad.
Bob's showing his age. How do I share something? How do I share a web page?
What
I
do you
forgot,
mean?
to be honest.
Huh?
Through Discord?
No. I just want to copy this. Okay. Yeah, I can just do this.
Don't you right click
I,
and then you can go down to more options and then you can copy and then paste the link and then send it?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
God damn it, you forgot about copy and paste?
No, he's talking
Got
about
to
the
that?
link to share
I
the image or what he's looking at.
Yeah, I thought there was a
No.
short. I thought there was a shortcut to just share the page.
Oh yeah.
Instead of
Only
instead of
if it has, unless if it has those three dots, that's the only way you're going to get a shortcut. Because normally it has a share link right there automatically, but if it doesn't have
yeah.
that, then no, you have to do it the old-fashioned way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow, 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 wow. Uh, so okay. Next topic we have to get into is Mr. Randy Pitchford. Yes, that's right. The
Here we
Ah, there we
go.
go.
the head
Here we
of the
go.
head of Gearbox. That's right, has bended the knee to the gamers. Oh yeah. There will be no price increase for Borderlands 4. It will be $69.99, not $79.99.
I wonder
Gamers
why. I wonder what it
gamers
cost them to change their planes.
gamers 1, Gearbox
Yep.
0. Yeah.
I'm glad he walked
Yeah,
back to his
honestly.
statement because I honestly don't understand how arrogant you can be. I mean, that's more arrogant than Bobby Kotick. I mean, sitting there saying, "Yeah, if you're a fan, you're gonna buy it. I don't give a shit what the price is." No, that's arrogant. Like even if Microsoft did that with Halo, Gears, Forza, or any of those franchises that I love, I would tell them to kick rocks. I'd be like, "Yeah, no, thank you. Not paying full price." And now I'm talking about like as if we didn't have Game Pass. I would just wait until it goes on
I
sale
mean,
because, I mean that's I mean where does it stop? I mean if he gets away with it and he can sit there and keep saying that every time a new one comes out and he keeps raising the price and he doesn't give a shit what the backlash is. I mean, he would have gotten rid of his fan base. His fan base would have turned on him to the point where they would just boycott it. But thank God he actually came to
actually,
his senses and it's going to be the original price like it should be.
actually, not necessarily. There were people that, for some goddamn reason, are willing are willing to pay for that because it's their favorite game, and I think it is that that starts to become a problem because it makes us all start to like, okay, shit, so this game that I wanted to play is going to be way too expensive. I don't want to support that, so I won't buy. There's always going to be a motherfucker who's like, my favorite game ever has got a price increase. I don't give a going to buy it anyway day one. Why? Because it's my favorite shit. So they are counting on those people who only care about that in order for what? For them to just simply let's raise up the prices, let's get our numbers, and when we get our numbers, it means that people are still going to support it. It means that, oh,
The
who could have
I
guessed?
I
Apparently that movie wasn't so bad. So it's never going to
I
end.
get
It's not
that,
going
but
to be
that's a small
it's not
number though,
they're not
Fabio.
going to boycott. No, I'm just that what I'm just saying is the Borderlands fan base who truly is addicted to this shit would never boycott the game. They would never do such a thing. They're going to just shut up and buy it. The same way as if a console gets a price increase, it doesn't matter. The fans of that console are going to buy it day one, no matter. Next generation, it is going to be $200 more expensive than the previous one. They are going to buy it anyway. That's what I'm trying to say.
They've got
We
to
just,
have it.
because of situ- that situation,
You have
we
FOMO.
just enter a fucking rabbit hole.
You said Fabio was at FOMO.
FOMO is a bitch, and
Yeah,
people
it's FOMO.
like FOMO
Oh,
a bitch. Goddamn it! Like fear of missing out is ridiculous.
which I
Like,
mean, I
go
hate to
ahead,
say
Bob.
it though. I hate to say it, but I did kind of agree with Randy because I was gonna pay for Borderlands 4 no matter how much it cost.
You see?
I'm
You
sorry.
see?
I've had so many good
Okay, Here's
experiences
here's
playing that game
here's here's
co-op
here's my argument.
with my wife,
Like,
with my friends that I will pay for more of that. Please give it to me.
no, that's fine. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna increase the goddamn price, you better be putting more content into it, or you better be making it look better and play better. If it's the same shit and just barely slightly better than the previous one, and just a new story, that's not justifiable. In my eyes, it isn't.
I mean, the
I mean, you could release a new Command and Conquer, and let's say EA did it right. At the end of the day, even if they did it right and they charged like an absurd price, like $90 or whatever, I'd be like, no, kick rocks. I'll wait until it goes on sale and then I'll buy it because I know it's a single player game and it has multiplayer, but it's not like a free to play, it goes on and on and on and on. It's not gonna like, would I have some FOMO? Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I'll just wait until it goes on sale. Cause
So
yeah, I got the money, but I don't know, man.
but
I gotta
that's
put my foot down when it
but
comes to
that's
these
your
gaming
situation.
corporations. Yeah,
But
I'm
that's
sorry.
your situation. I'm talking about an entire community. They are not going to act. There's going to be an entire community who are going to be very vocal, who are going to just simply say, just like with Nintendo, who are going
take my
to say,
money.
"I don't give a damn. I'm buying this shit anyways." You
They're
saw
gonna
I
do the
was
Fry meme from Futurama. Take my money. Shut up and take my money.
Yeah.
like the same way as we have people who are going to be willing to pay $100 for a standard edition of GTA 6. Now the argument that these people make is just simply, oh, but it's GTA. The thing is, motherfucker, GTA doesn't deserve to receive $100 standard price when GTA 5 was much less than that. It was $60 at release. And not just that, by the fact that GTA 6 is going to be $100 and can get away with it, every other company that doesn't make GTA like games, that don't have GTA, and they are not going to be willing to
They're
put
gonna
as much
copy that.
quality as
Yeah.
that, they are going to copy that. That's the
Mhm.
problem when you are just
Yep.
simply focusing on that's my favorite thing. For example, if Microsoft announces a brand new Banjo Kazooie, there we go. Brand new Banjo Kazooie, $100, and there wasn't Game Pass, so you would be forced to buy that. I wouldn't. I will have to give up on playing my favorite thing. because I'm not willing to pay $100, which is 500 Brazilian reais, for a standard edition of this.
Okay.
500 Brazilian
Because
reais is
it
really
gets
expensive.
Okay, so let me
it
put
gets
this
way too expensive. Yeah,
let me let
after
me
a
put
while, because you
this
can't afford it.
let me put this into perspective that so that you would understand. Okay, what you said Xbox if they did this with Banjo-Kazooie. What if they did this with Halo and all your friends were playing it?
I'm sorry. I will have to not play with my friends. I will have to stick with Halo Infinite. That's the thing. I'll have to stick with the previous games with what I have, because the fact that these companies are trying to, as much as possible, lower the loss, on console sales, and increase the profits in software sales, makes gaming less accessible for a country like mine, for people like me who are not going to be willing to spend money or equivalent to buying a fucking car just to play, just to buy the top-notch console and buy 5 games out of it.
I
I'm not
agree,
doing that.
Fabio, because it like I get it, because it costs more in your country, but at the same time, like even someone here in America, it wouldn't matter. Like eventually, you'd be like, if you have like 6 franchises that you really love and you buy them every year. If let's say you don't do Game Pass, you buy them every year. Um, let's say Game Pass didn't exist. You bought them every year, just like before Game Pass even did exist. You bought them every
Mhm.
year, 5 games every year, or whenever they come out. Now they're all instantly $100 for the standard edition. That's not for the Ultimate Edition. Ultimate Edition is now $200. So now you're sitting there and you're like, huh, do I put my foot down and only get one game, or do I bankrupt my damn bank account because I gotta buy 5 games, and that's not including if my friends want me to buy other games. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, that gets way too damn expensive. Like, I get it because KY Bob's talking about, Borderlands. That's fine. One game, no big deal. Whatever, $100, no problem. But like, let's say all the games that he likes was not in Game Pass. That'd be a bitch. I mean, at the end of the day, you're like, okay, do I drop almost $1,000 on my damn account getting all these games,
I
especially
mean,
if I want the Ultimate Editions,
let's
or do I just get one game?
let's be honest here, okay? Bob is sitting in an $800 gaming chair, and I've got ice around my neck, so Bob's
Yeah,
not worried.
but no,
I'm
no,
just,
I'm not,
No,
I'm
no,
not,
no,
I'm not, I'm
but
not
that's a
saying you're
fact,
worried,
and
but
thank God for
but
that.
I could see it from people's perspectives. It's like, yeah, I love this hobby, but at one point, does it get to be like, yeah, this gets way too damn expensive. Like, yeah, it gets way too expensive, and it's like, at that point, I might as well just wait for the next Xbox to come out and just buy the games on Steam and ditch the Microsoft Store altogether.
okay. So
Because at that point, you would get a cheaper discount and you'd probably get better sales, to be
so
honest.
this so this kind
So
of I'm gonna split us off here into a little side topic of a little
yeah,
extension of the main topic because Fabio brought up a good point. How much is too much for him? And not just him. I mean, we're talking about the majority of gamers. The majority of gamers,
yeah,
they're 9 to 5ers, and they make just enough to get by, and that's why Game Pass is such an appealing option for
yeah.
gamers. So Fabio, you said that if a game was $100, that'd be 500 Brazilian reais, correct?
Yes.
How much would be too
Actually,
much?
wait. Yes, it is.
Okay,
How much would be
so
too much for me?
no, no. So we're talking a 5-to-1 ratio, and I'm sure your country or your region is not the only one in the same predicament. And as far as conversion to the dollar, so we're talking about probably, I don't know, maybe let's be generous and say 8% of gamers are in the same boat that you're in. How much would be too much? Because you said that if it wasn't on Game Pass, how much would be too much to pay for Game Pass before that wasn't worth it, seeing how much more you get with Game Pass instead of just a Halo game? See,
Mm,
that's
I bet,
difficult.
Yeah, that
I
is difficult.
bet, I bet that Game Pass, the price for Game Pass for Brazilian people would, and or at least for me, the limit, the absolute limit of it would be at most in Brazilian reais, 100 Brazilian reais. At most, like this is the limit of the limit. At
Wait, so
most,
Aren't you
I
at that
think we will
now?
be winning. No, we are at 60 Brazilian reais. Microsoft has adapted,
oh, you're
they
talking about the
make the price
games. I thought you were
increases
talking about Game
and they
Pass.
adapt the price of the service in order to not fuck so much with us here because they do understand how much Game Pass is successful, especially for countries like mine in that department. They know how it is successful in across their entire fan base. But for countries that games are way, way, way expensive, Game Pass is just like a savior. People haven't been playing that much in years or since forever because of it. Like, and thanks to their advancements and their dedication through cloud gaming, people who to this day who didn't manage to get an Xbox Series S or an Xbox Series X can enjoy next gen, current gen right now games thanks to the cloud service, and they don't have to buy it thanks to Game Pass. So when it comes to Game Pass, the limit would be that. When it comes to games, I'm sorry, no game, absolutely no game should be $70 at release. I didn't buy any sort of $70 game on day one. I
So
haven't bought it.
how much would you be willing
60.
to pay for no, not for that, for like Game Pass? Like let's say for Game
I
Pass,
said
how much would you let go up?
I said at most 100 Brazilian reais. Like that would be
Wait, a
considered
month?
as 20. Uh, yes, a month because Game Pass gives you way too much value. And like considering that you are just going to
So
be playing Game Pass
how much
and
is that
nothing else,
US?
that would be $20. But the fact is, bro,
Oh,
the price that
okay.
the price that you guys have there, Microsoft makes the conversion and they try to adapt in order to not fuck so much with us anytime they do a price increase. Right now, we are at 60 Brazilian reais per month.
I was
Game
about to
Pass
For
say,
me,
Ultimate right now for me is $22 a month after tax. Because I get the bill. So
hmm let me check. Let me check here. Fimber, how much would you be willing to at most, like, if Microsoft was doing price increases of Game Pass one time after time after time after time, how much would you say from here on now? I'm not paying it. To me, would be 100 Brazilian reais
for
because
me,
I
for
think
me it's
that
40.
hmm.
no, yeah, but
But
I'm talking with
that's if they
Fimber.
keep on adding. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but like I mean, in terms of I'm talking with Thimber because he has the same currency as I have. He is from Brazil as well, and I wanted to see his opinion about it because Thimber, while I complain about price increases, Thimber is the one who has the most right to complain about it because Thimber works his ass off day and night, and he didn't manage to get himself an Xbox Series S here in Brazil. He didn't manage to. He is looking for one, but I think he's probably going to maybe wait for next generation or something like that. I hope that for the next generation, Microsoft makes a budget console as
Yep.
well, so that
There's your
people
answer.
like me or Finber can play it. There we go. I guess up until 100 or 200 for me. It still holds a lot more value. Yes, exactly. It gives you a lot of value about because of so many games that they are releasing, and especially like how much value in one single year has Game Pass given to us, like just in 2025
1,000
alone.
at
Like
least.
it is absurd, and like you have the feeling that I can't be the only one here. Like the feeling that we have is that from this year forward is going to be like this all the time. I'm not trying to say that there's going to be a masterpiece, uh, critically acclaimed masterpiece, considered to be masterpiece, like Expedition 33. I'm talking about in terms of first party games released day one. Microsoft has more than 20 studios under their first party umbrella. So like if they continue to be on a roll like this, and if crazy studios like fucking Obsidian continue to release 3 games a year, god damn it, that's going to be so absurd.
Yeah, I
Sorry
agree.
about my really long ass rant. Really sorry
Oh,
about that, but like
you're
when it
good.
comes to pricing,
Oh, it was a good rant.
yeah,
Very good
going
rant.
back to going back to Randy Pitchford, I think that something like stupid websites like Kotaku said people were complaining for nothing because the price is going to be $70 anyway. Yay, no, motherfuckers. They
I'll be right back.
changed their idea because of the backlash. You fuckers, because of the complaint, because Randy Pitchford decided to fuck up so bad that he made such a terrible PR comments there. Like it was like, let's just say it was equivalent to John Metric fucking up the Xbox One. You know what I mean? It would be equivalent to those levels. It would be equivalent to motherfucking the Bowser Nintendo executive talking about trying to justify why games should be $80. It's equivalent to Yoshida talking shit about Game Pass or saying that $80 for a game is actually quite a luxury. You actually should be thankful for it because games, this is a steal, it should cost way more. Or equivalent to like a fucking Mike Yabaha saying, I wish I could pay for a game, play it, finish it, and then give more money to the developer after I finish it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, give a $10 tip. So like fuck off.
Wow. Tell us exactly how you feel, Fabio. Don't hold back.
No, I just said it. I just said it. It's okay. I think that's quite enough. Next topic, please, because this week we had some really good stuff.
Oh, yeah. So, let's see. Oh, shoot. I'm kind of
Ma-
thrown off a little bit because
Marathon,
my
marathon,
yes,
marathon. Can we talk about marathon?
yes. Fabio, take it away. Launch us into marathon. Oh
So
gosh.
Apparently, marathon has been. Who could have guessed? Marathon has been delayed. They haven't said anything about which date it's going to be released. We don't know if it is still going to be this year, but of course, Sony during their business meeting that they've made a video with Herman Host discussing about it. He said that we are very excited for Marathon in our fiscal year 2026 or 2025. I don't remember the right term, but like it would indicate that Marathon is going to be releasing at the beginning of 2026. But Bungie themselves nor Sony made any sort of statement confirming if that's going to be the case. The Colonel Host's comments were just like what he hopes is going to be and what he's excited about it. But at the end of the day, the situation of Marathon was is completely in the dark, and the game has been officially delayed to another time
Indefinitely.
to yeah, indefinitely, like to be disclosed release date. What do you guys think? Are we going to see Marathon being released? Is Bungie going to die in the middle of the development process? What are your thoughts and feelings about it?
Uh,
Bob,
TJ,
take it away.
TJ,
Ah,
take it away.
TJ, thank you. Go on.
No, I'm here.
Yeah, what do you think
Go on,
about
TJ, please.
Marathon? Is it on life support or is it going strong?
Yeah, I think it is on live support because like if it was if they were comfortable with releasing it, they would have stuck to their guns and they would have released it this year, or they would have at least said, coming 2026, subject to change. They could have done that. They could have pulled a GTA like how they said 2025, but they never said the release date. That's why I laugh when
Mhm.
people say, "Oh, it's delayed." No, the hell it's not. There's no date. It just said 2025. Now we got an actual date for GTA. So, yeah, Marathon could do the same thing, but I don't personally I don't think Bungie knows what they're doing. And I think that they got way in over their heads and they realize we're screwed because Sony's gonna fully they're gonna fully just like morph them into PlayStation Studios, and you're gonna see all the devs leave. The ones that want to be free, they're gonna leave. They're gonna leave, go create their studio. That's what's gonna happen. The people
We
that stay are gonna be basically support. They're gonna probably be a support team, and they're just gonna keep Destiny going, and they'll probably just help with other games. That's what will probably happen. I mean, I hate to say that, but like anybody that's holding out hope, all the people that made Destiny, like the real like legends that made Destiny and made Halo, are gone. So if you're thinking those people are still there, good luck.
I mean,
It's
we got
that
people
game's
that
dead.
we got people at Bungie now that are so creatively dead that they have to steal content from other creators, right?
Yeah, exactly. One for one. That's the bad part. I can understand if you
And
took a
the
little
worst
bit
part,
of it, but then you change it just to make it so that it's not you can't get sued. But when you do a one for one, like it looks like they copied and pasted. Like a child could do that. I mean, that is really bad. That is really low for Bungie. And I used to love Bungie, but god damn, that's low. That's lazy dev work, and that is really lazy creativity. Like seriously, that's sad.
and, the, and like I think that one of the biggest problems it comes from the fact that this is their fifth time, fourth or fifth time doing that shit,
Yeah,
stealing
which is
content,
that should have been a
making
red flag for
plagiarism.
Sony. Jesus.
And
Mm.
let's remember we are talking about a studio that it's not indie anymore. It was acquired by $3 billion. It was Sony's PlayStation, not necessarily going to say Sony in its entirety, but like it was PlayStation's biggest studio acquisition ever, especially for a studio that only has two IPs, two or
Yep.
three IPs, something like that, and that they have only been working on one of them for a decade. And the results and like the studio that was acquired for that much money, and that it is like, okay, now we are under the PlayStation Studios umbrella. We should be receiving some really nice resources for technology, research, marketing, and especially hire people, personal hiring. So like we need to find someone who is creative enough to make some original shit in this industry. No, they have someone who is who is some people or more people who are just stealing contents and making an entire art style based on that shit. And the end results is just what we are saying. It's really like how the mighty have fallen, like when it comes to Bungie, in my opinion. Because let's be honest, even though like you may not enjoy Destiny, you may not enjoy Marathon, but if you are a Halo fan, and it doesn't matter if you are a Halo fan from the 360, from the 343 era, or the purely Bungie era,
It's for you to play the
like
games you want
Bungie
with the
is
people you
supposed to
want
be one of
anywhere.
the most important studios in your gaming life, because they've made one of the greatest franchises ever, one of the most legendary ones, which is Halo. Their contributions
They're the
are
studio
legend.
that made Xbox take off in the first place. So yeah,
Exactly, like there's no denial
and
about
it's
it.
sad.
When you see that studio, who were for many people their childhood, they're considered like gods in their eyes, decay so much, because of greed and because of lack of creativity, because of creativity blockage, and literally what they were trying to praise so much, which is their independence, which is fighting for owning their own IPs, which was all what they wanted to do during the Halo Reach era, where they were in the middle of the Halo Reach process. They were making the entire procedure to leave Microsoft Studios, and at the end of the results was it didn't work out for them. They are not capable to be indie at all, because they waste more money that they can make. The first moment someone was willing to acquire them, apparently they just accepted, and it was for a really nice bag. $3 billion is not something small,
You
and the
forgot about
result is that they go.
Activision because remember they went and
I
slept with Activision before that.
Did Activision acquire them? I don't think so. I think it was just a partnership where Activision was publishing Destiny 1, but Bungie
No,
wasn't part
if I
of
remember
Activision.
correctly, didn't they actually own them? And then they bought out their
I
contract from them.
I don't remember that you got me there. I don't remember that detail. Well, let's
Because
consider. Let's consider.
because
Let's
I
consider
remember
Activision.
everybody kept saying that if Microsoft would have bought them back then, bought Activision, they would have gotten Bungie.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it is equivalent to saying if like of the. I think it is equivalent to the discussions people were making of if Sekiro is an Xbox game now, because Activision published it, but the IP is actually owned by From Software. So what it means right now. So
Okay, yeah, you're
anyway,
right. You're right. It okay. So in 2010, Bungie and Activision entered into a 10-year publishing agreement where Activision would publish Bungie's games, including the Destiny series. So and then they split
nice.
in 2019. They split mutually. They didn't end on bad terms. They just wanted to go separate ways. So yeah, and then they went to Sony. Okay, I just wanted to make
Okay.
sure for anybody in the chat in case if they want to ask. So
Oh yeah,
All
for
right.
sure.
go ahead.
Thanks for the info. But like what I was trying to say is that like it is bizarre how like Bungie was always trying to, let's be independent. Let's keep our magic, because if it wasn't for us, these companies would be nothing. And at the end of the day, the first moment they become independent, they fuck up really badly, and then they get acquired by Sony,
Sony.
and they continue to fuck up that badly. It is really bizarre. Like Bungie throughout their history, they have been horrendous when it comes to game development execution. For creativity and ideas of game mechanics and story wise, They are legendary. If it wasn't for that, Halo wouldn't be what it is today. If it wasn't for that, Destiny wouldn't be as successful as it was. But as time has progressed, we can definitely see that when it comes to the process of the game development, you are not you can't only hold that towards just purely creativity. You need to have organization, you need to have structure, you need to have serious and professional people who are going to do their task, their job, and who are not fucking around. Bungie throughout their history has always been fucking around since the Halo Combat evolved until the end of the Microsoft era with Destiny 1 and now with Sony. That's the thing that that is really sad.
I think Fabio brings up a good point, because if we remember, we saw what Halo was before Microsoft steered Bungie into the direction that gave us the Halo that we got as an end product. The game that Bungie was making, that game wouldn't have gone anywhere. I wouldn't have played that. I mean, I may have tried it out a little bit as like a strategy game, and I wouldn't have been. Yeah, it wouldn't have captured me the way that Microsoft's vision of Halo captured me. And yeah, and I mean, really, but Microsoft made Bungie famous. And then, I mean, I got to give them props. Destiny was good. It was really good. And Destiny, when did I stop playing Destiny, Fabio?
Destiny 2.
Yeah, why did I stop playing Destiny 2?
Six died.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
because
they killed him off.
Because they fucking killed your boy.
It's like killing the Arbiter and saying, okay, well, we're gonna go to a memory in the next Halo of the Arbiter. It's like, no, you fucking killed him.
No. I think it would be worse. I think it is worse. I think it would be the same. I think it would be the same thing as if you were like, let's kill Master Chief, and then the next game is going to be the history of Master Chief, but without his helmet on. Let's make a game of the Halo series, the Halo TV series, motherfucker.
Yeah, Master Cheeks. Yep.
Yeah, Master Chiefs. What
Yeah,
else do
Okay,
you have about?
so I got to put
Bungie
something on,
fucked up.
I
That's all
have
I'm
to
gonna
put
say.
something on screen.
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Thember is chomping at the bit over here. He wants me to put up so Thember, I'm going to do you one better, brother. I am not going to put up the tweet from Sarah Bond. I'm going to put on screen the video from for the whole presentation from Sarah Bond, which is like a minute 18 seconds long. So
Yeah.
here we go.
At Xbox, our vision is for you to play the games you want with the people you want, anywhere you want. That's why we're investing in our next generation hardware lineup across console, handheld, PC, cloud, and accessories. I am thrilled to share we've established a strategic multi-year partnership with AMD to co-engineer silicon across a portfolio of devices, including our next generation Xbox consoles, in your living room and in your hands. Together with AMD, we are advancing the state of art in gaming silicon to deliver the next generation of graphics innovation to unlock a deeper level of visual quality and immersive gameplay and player experiences enhanced with the power of AI, all while maintaining compatibility with your existing library of Xbox games. This is all about building you a gaming platform that's always with you, so you can play the games you want across devices anywhere you want, delivering you an Xbox experience not locked to a single store or tied to one device. That's why we're working closely with the Windows team to ensure that Windows is the #1 platform for gaming. The next generation of Xbox is coming to life, and this is just the beginning. We can't wait to show you what's next.
All right, so she said in there their partnership with AMD, and I know a lot of people say, well, yeah, Xbox, they partner with AMD all the time, and so does PlayStation. But I think this is, I think Xbox is partnering with AMD to make a special chip, a special APU with backwards compatibility in mind. So just like the APU that's in these handhelds that's running 5 Zen 5 cores and 3 Zen 5 C cores, I think they're going to, now that AMD has got this Strix point process down, I think Xbox is having a custom chip made by AMD so that when you launch a back compat game, it will disable cores and lower performance of cores to match the code of the back compat game you want to play.
So
I
no
think,
error messages and no freezing. It'll just work.
yeah, it'll just
That's what you're
work.
saying. Yep, that's good. That's what we want.
Because, I mean, what she says was their partnership with AMD is to provide next level performance, cutting edge graphics, breakthrough gameplay, and unmatched compatibility. Key words there, unmatched compatibility, which I can't think of anybody else who's done this type of thing in the console market. Hell, Windows doesn't even do it in the PC market. New version of Windows. Guess what? Oh, my game doesn't work, but it's just software. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty pumped about it. Yeah. There you go. There you go, Thimber. Are you happy now? He said, Bob didn't highlight the epic comment. I'm sad. There you go, buddy.
No, because like I shall highlight it. Like the Fimber made a comment about Bungie. He said, "If you can highlight this comment, Bungie is on a state of decay." Badumts.
Oh, but yes, that's right. That's
No,
Bob's favorite game. I hate to say it. I know.
Bungie
I love
is
to say
Concord. Bungie's Concord.
Yeah, they are concording really bad right now.
They're concording. See, what did I tell you all? I said Concord was getting a sequel, and it was called Marathon.
Yep, and the third sequel will be Bungie dying and being dissolved into Sony. Yep.
Why you got to be so morbid, TJ? Goodness.
Well, I mean the writing's on the wall, dude. I mean, it's not looking good. It's looking really grim. So, I mean, I'm not saying anything that nobody else has already seen. I mean, I just feel bad for them.
I mean, he does have a really good point in that regard. Let's be honest here. But go on, like when it comes to the Sarah Bond video, what do you think about it? What were you saying, Bob?
Oh, I'm pumped. I mean, I think we see. So with the series consoles, we didn't really think of the Xbox AMD partnership as anything other than, hey, we would like you to make an APU for our next console. And they're like, okay, yeah. So we thought that what made the Xbox AMD thing special for the series consoles was that you remember the Xbox Series consoles went into development a lot later than the PS5 consoles. Remember, the PS5 could have released a year earlier than it did and didn't have complete RDNA 2 support. But Xbox waited until RDNA was finished and already in retail in discrete GPUs before they began. So that's that's as far as we believed the whole AMD Microsoft partnership went with the series consoles, was that they got, they waited until they were done, and then they would said, okay, this is what we want, go. This is a little deeper. This is actually like, hey, this is what we want our next console to be compatible with, and we need your help on the processing side so that we don't hit any roadblocks with hardware compatibility. That's I'm pretty pumped about this one, because I mean, I don't think anybody's ever we've seen custom silicon before, but not custom silicon
Not on this level.
custom silicon that's never been done before.
Yeah.
We've seen, that's why that's the whole reason for the creation of emulators, is because you couldn't depend on the hardware level to take care of that thing for you. When she says unrivaled compatibility, that tells me that not only are we going to see emulation for the software side, but we're going to see hardware changing itself to run
Well,
said game. Yeah, that's just
it's gonna have
wild to
machine
me.
learning, so it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be really beneficial to us. So people, I would start saving up, because if you want full compatibility and you want all your games to work, and you want even future games, and you want Steam games, you want emulators and all that, and you basically want the one-stop shop for the best place to play on a damn little tiny ass console under your TV screen.
Yeah.
I would save up your money, start saving now, even if it's $1 a day, a penny a day, doesn't matter. Keep saving it until the console comes out and then buy it, or
Yeah,
do
because
the financing.
we're not only talking about console compatibility here with past consoles. We're talking
It's
about
PC, man.
Steam, Epic Game
Yep.
Store, GOG Games,
GOG, HIO.
everything
Yep.
in your living room. And I know, Fabio, I'll never be able to afford this. This is going to be astronomically high. Bob's got you, dog.
I don't know.
Brr.
I am quite curious about how much they are going to be pricing, because when it comes to the ROG Xbox Ally, okay, I get it. I'm not buying it, but like I get it because the ROG Ally is an 800, 700 to $900. Okay, they have to make it competitive to the market. They are not going to be putting price in the ROG Xbox Ally X $500. They're not going to be putting Xbox One pricing or Xbox Series X pricing or even less Xbox Series S pricing on this thing. There's no doubt about it. But when it comes to the next generation of consoles, and I'm still going to be willing and hoping that Microsoft is going to try to
Bite the
keep
bullet.
their promise to making two consoles. One, there's going to be premium when it comes to the power, but there's going to be everything, and there's going to be everything in it. And one, there's going to be a budget one who is going to have the main features of what is considered as the next big thing for next generation of Xbox, but it's not going to be as powerful when it comes to the image outputs that you are having. So hoping for that, I would be willing, of course, to buy the next generation of console, and depending on how much they are going to be pricing. I think they are not going to fuck this up. Not with
It's gonna
this
be
one.
800. I don't think it'll go any higher, because I mean, some
The
people can
budget
afford it,
console,
but
the budget
not
console,
everybody
you're talking.
can.
No,
No, no,
wait, you're
no,
talking.
no. The highest one. They're not
Ah,
gonna put
okay.
it over 1,000, because they wanted. I mean, just hear me out quick for a quick second. Just think about this. They're putting Steam on their damn Xbox. At the end of the day, it's running full Windows, even if it's working in the background, and you can go back into it, just like you saw on the Asus ROG Xbox Ally. Either way, you can do whatever you want on it, mod it, whatever, emulate it, whatever.
Dual
You
boot,
you you
put
you
Linux
you
in it.
Yeah, if you want to, whatever. But at the end of the day, you literally make it the cheapest, most affordable, playable, smallest form of a PC for a starter for anybody that doesn't want to start tinkering yet. Because at the end of the day, it will play native 4K 60, no problem. And it could play even higher on some games that are really demanding. So that's going to be impressive. Because when you go and spec a PC and you want good frame rate and you want actual 4K, not 1440p, not subpar 4K. I'm talking about like native 4K, like 3000 by 2060 pixels. And you want a high frame rate with that shit, good luck, because normally you're going to spend over $1,000 bare minimum. And I'm talking about you also have to have the RAM, you have to have all the other shit to run your PC so it doesn't take a shit on you. Now, you put that in a little tiny ass console and you say, hey, it runs Steam, it runs Xbox, it runs everything. Dude, people are just going to be lining up to buy it because at the end of the day, it's like, so you're telling me I could plug in my keyboard and mouse and play my Steam games on my Xbox for $800? It's under $1,000 and it plays 4K 60 or even higher. Hell yeah. They're going to easily eat that up. They don't want to outprice this. If they I'm going to tell you right now, only a handful of people would pay over $1,000. Only a handful. Now, I'm not talking about like 10%. I'm talking about like probably 5% only. To do this right, if Microsoft really wants to go the way that they're going, and Kara Bob will probably back me up on this because it makes perfect sense. If they're going to do this 10-year partnership with AMD, I would personally price it $800 for the most highest performance package, and 800 gets you in the door for PC if you don't want to tinker that much. And it's right there in your living room. You don't have to have it on a desktop, like actually on like a computer stand. So personally, I think it'll be $800, but who knows? You know what? We've been proven wrong before. Nobody thought they were going to buy Activision, but they did. So I don't know. Maybe I'm talking bullshit. Who knows?
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
we'll see. I mean, what do you guys think?
Like, I think it is a good point. I think they are not going to try to make the console $1,000. It's going to be really expensive. I have no doubt about it. If you are going to like get a premium console version, like the Series X, but with Windows in it, it's going to be quite more expensive than the traditional console. I I think that is quite fair, but I think Microsoft may have learned a thing or two from the Xbox One debacle. The moment Phil Spencer announced the release price of the Xbox One, I think this is something that he's never going to forget, the reaction that people were having and his face
That was Don
live
Matrick. Thank you.
on
Do
stage.
not shame
No,
Phil like
no,
that.
no,
Yeah,
no.
it was Don
Phil
Metric.
Spencer, no, Phil Spencer was the one who said the Xbox One is going to be releasing for $500. It was Phil Spencer. I saw it on the Xbox
Um,
Power On documentary.
you're
I
talking about the Xbox One X because he didn't get control of Xbox until the
no,
very end in like 2016 after Don
no, no.
Matrick left the debacle because he's the one
Oh
that
yeah,
started the sinking ship.
no, no. Here's the thing. I know it was a Phil Spencer who decided the price to be
Be-
$500, but the fact that he was the one who had to announce that, and he was the one who saw the first reactions of it, and his face said everything, which is
well, I
we are
mean, he
not
was getting
gonna
told what to
try.
do. He had to listen to his
Yes,
boss, and at the end of the
I'm
day,
not,
it's
boys,
Don
boys,
Matrick. He's the
boys.
one
You
that
are.
fucked up everything.
All right.
Boys, you are defending him when I'm not even attacking the guy. I'm literally just saying he had to say that the price was going to be higher than the standard price of that generation. What I'm trying to say is Phil Spencer, because of the shit that Don Matrix said for him to do, he now that he is the leader of the Xbox division, he's not going to be doing that again. He's not going to set a price that is going to be beyond what the standard for the market value is. That's what I'm trying to say. He learned the lesson. He knows what it is to fuck up with the gaming community. He knows really well, especially when it comes to pricing. It wasn't his fault for the Xbox One generation. That's a fact. So no worries about it. But anyways, he was the one who had to announce it, and he was the one who first took the live reactions of people on it. Come on, I don't know why you are so much on the defensive here when it comes to that.
All right, time to rein it in, boys. We got another topic we got actually a couple more topics we need to get into.
Let's go
Let's
through
go
them
then.
real quick.
Okay, so Final Fantasy 16's only sold 22,000 copies on Xbox in a week.
Bullshit.
Yeah, that's bad.
Well, no, it's not,
Bullshit.
because I have a theory to this. When your game doesn't come out on a competing platform, and we know that 70% of gamers can only afford to play on one device.
Yep.
When your game doesn't come to their device, they will find another game, another franchise to play that gives them that RPG, that scratches that RPG itch, and they will lose excitement for your franchise. How long have we been waiting for Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth, and how long have we been waiting for Final Fantasy 16? 2 years.
Yeah,
that's
16,
insane.
2 years. Final Fantasy VII, way longer.
Yes.
Isn't it 5 years or 6 years?
I don't know.
I
It's almost a decade, I think.
I lost track. You know why? Because I lost interest.
Yep.
So, I mean, and you see fanboys on social media saying 22,000 is pathetic. And I'm like, yeah, but you know what? I remember Final Fantasy 16 when it released on PS5. It had all these performance issues. It's funny how the Xbox version of Final Fantasy 16 is showing those exact same performance issues. Almost like this is an old version of a game that's been sitting on a shelf, finished, ready to go on Xbox for the last 2 years. Otherwise, you'd be getting that's why PC gamers love it when it takes time for a game to get to PC, because by the time it gets to PC, it's had all the bugs worked out of it.
Yeah.
This is an Xbox version that's literally the original version that came out on PlayStation with all the issues.
Apparently, even Final Fantasy 16 proves to be an exception of the PC rule in terms of waiting, because not even PC players were interested in buying this game. It didn't perform well either there. But
there's new games, so people got time to play
yes,
other games.
like your fan base on the console is like, okay, first of all, you disrespected us by saying, you know what, I think we prefer the money that Sony gave to us, especially because, come on now, they have the higher player install base. Of course it is going to be much better. And they see that, oh shit, nobody bought the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Oh shit, nobody is liking the
because
fucking-
everybody plays
and then,
COD.
and then after that 2 years, they officially release it. No marketing, no previous announcement, no be
Yeah, that's bad.
excited,
Nope.
and no, for example, Wukong, who is giving you a
Yeah.
20% discount at least for the no, you are paying you waited 2 years for this shit because